Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. Welcome to the Transformational Soul Show with your host, Ruth Soltman. Are you ready to experience more stability in your life? You can change your life and be who you are meant to be, your authentic self.
Good morning, everybody. It's Ruth Soltman here with the Transformational Soul Show. So happy to be here with you this morning. So last week we were talking about the full moon and wanted to see how many of you set your full moon intentions and see how that was working out for you. So just drop me a message in the comments and let me know. I wanted to also let you know that we have the super chat available if you are logged into YouTube. And now we have a new feature here on Facebook through Venmo where you can also send your tips and donations. So I just wanted to let you know about that first so I don't forget. And I did go ahead and draw a card for everyone this morning. And the card that I drew was Gifts from God. And what this card is talking about, it's Archangel Sandalphon. And he says that we angels bring you gifts from your Creator. Open your arms to receive. You know, we all have gifts that are given to us from our Creator. And the gifts vary from person to person. And a lot of times we may know we have gifts, but we're just not willing to be open and receiving of them or acknowledge them. Sometimes that can be due to fear or anxiety. It doesn't really matter what the reason is, as long as you can figure it out and open yourself up, because these are your God-given gifts, talents, and it's what you need to be doing and working on. It not only will it help you to, evolve and get better in your craft, whatever that may be, but it also, you were given these gifts in an effort to help other people. So when you just hide them away and pretend like they don't exist, not only are you hurting yourself, but you're hurting everyone else as well. Sometimes it can be hard to figure out what those gifts are. Maybe those gifts are kindness. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be like a world famous artist to acknowledge that you have gifts from God or your Creator. There's many, many different kinds of gifts. There's many spiritual gifts. Some people have like physical abilities, such as, they're really good at different sports. They're very athletic. Other people, are into the arts, and that's where their gifts and talents come from. Good morning, Sarah. Nice to see you. Talking about our gifts from God and the angels. The card that I drew for everyone this morning was Gifts from God. And the angels are saying that they are bringing us our gifts from God, that we need to be open and receptive. And I'm saying how a lot of times that's not always easy to do. Sometimes, I know I was always a giver, and sometimes I would have a hard time receiving. Well, when you do that, it doesn't just affect one-on-one with someone else. It affects every avenue of your life. It can block you off, cause energy blockages to where you don't receive. And of course, any energy blockage is not healthy for you, but it just gets in the way of what you are here to do. Your gifts are very important, no matter what they may be. Some people figure that out early in life and some people don't. And it doesn't matter as long as you do figure it out. And as long as you just tell the angels you are open and, willing to receive, and you have that space inside of you where you are willing to receive, and it's not just, talk. You have to really feel it and believe it. But then you will receive those gifts. And I can guarantee you that right now, every single one of you is receiving many spiritual messages. You may not realize it. Sometimes it could just be a thought that isn't yours, that's intuitively given to you. And sometimes we just dismiss it, thinking that it's ourself talking. But the divine, the angels, they are always in communication with us. The universe, they are always sending us messages. We just have to be open and willing to listen. We have to be willing to not just hear the messages, but actually listen and absorb what they are saying. And sorry, my hair is just driving me crazy on my nose here. And listen to what they are saying. Now, sometimes we'll get a message and, it's very unclear. Well, when that happens, just tell the angels, send me a clearer message. Send me some kind of confirmation so that I will know this is you and not me. And it can be really frustrating at first listening to that inner voice. I've gotten messages all my life, and I've always thought my intuition was pretty good. And anytime I had a decision to make or something came up, and I listened to my gut instinct, my intuition, my inner GPS, it never, ever steered me wrong. It's when I went against that, and I kind of was, sometimes it's a decision of what you need to do and what you yourself, your human self, want to do. And sometimes that's a big conflict. And so sometimes we don't go with our intuition and, inevitably, don't make the decision that was best for us. So it's really, really, really important to tune into that intuition. Now, some people might, hear messages. Maybe you're thinking about something and a certain song comes on the radio, and the words to this song totally confirm what you were thinking. It's not a coincidence. There's no coincidences in life. Everything happens for a reason. And we're constantly getting these messages and downloads, but most of us don't even realize it. Once you can tap into that, it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. And your intuition is just like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And I know from my own experience that is very, very true. When I first started listening to my intuition, like 100%, it just changed everything for me. You feel so empowered and confident in the decisions that you make when you listen to your intuition, because it's the right choice. Sometimes if you have a decision, you're weighing the odds between two different things, and you think really deeply and imagine how your life would be if you went with decision number one. And how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel really satisfied and happy and energized, or does it make you feel very uncomfortable and uneasy? Then think about decision number two. Picture how your life would be if you made that decision, and see how that makes you feel. You can usually tell which is the right one just by the way it makes you feel. Now, sometimes I've gone against what my intuition was telling me, but it would just give me a really, really bad feeling inside, and I knew that it wasn't the way to go. So, before the end there, I kind of switched it up and was really glad that I did. So how many of you follow your intuition? What kind of messages do you get? Oh, Sarah, thank you so much for the super sticker. You are awesome. I just want to mention the super chat super stickers again. That's on YouTube. You have to be logged into your account. And we also have it set up now through Facebook that you can donate through Venmo. Please know that all of your donations and tips are greatly appreciated, and they all go to help fund my show. So I thank you very much, Sarah. You are awesome. So it's really key to listen to that intuition. And kids have intuition. It's something that's very natural. But then as we get older, we learn not to trust it, or we are taught by others not to trust it. And, a lot of things I tried to teach my kids as they were growing up, because things that I knew, like intuition And happiness is a choice, and the most important thing in the world is for you to be happy. Doesn't matter what you choose for a career, as long as it makes you happy, because happy is the most important thing. Now, you can't look to anyone else to make you happy. You have to make that choice yourself. And our world around us can be like a hurricane, crazy things just going in total chaos. But if you have that inner peace and you are set with yourself, it makes a big difference in how you react. You won't necessarily react so much as you may respond, but it helps you to stay in that place inside of you where you are happy and content, even though craziness is going on. And never feel guilty for being happy when things are going on like that, because everyone processes, events the way they do. We're all human, but when you can get into that spiritual place, you will see every experience from a different perspective. It will help you, it will guide you, and it will help you to maintain that inner peace. Sarah says, you're welcome. Devin, hi, my beautiful friend. Well, good morning, Devin. I'm so glad you could be here this morning. So, Devin, we've been talking about our gifts from God. And right now, we're talking about our intuition and how we can use that intuition to guide us easily and safely through our lives. It's really important to tap into that. I mean, I can't stress that enough. Ask the angels for their guidance in helping you, because anything you ask of the angels, they will always be there for you and they will always help you. And it's so amazing to have that army behind you of angels. And we all do. We just don't always realize it. So a lot of times we don't ask for help. Sometimes I'll be going through something and sometimes I forget too. And then I remember, I'm going to ask my angels for some help here. And they never let me down. And I mean, you can practice this with your angels. Next time you go to the grocery store, before you go, or maybe on your way, ask them, for a parking spot up close. See what happens. Every time I have done that, there's been a parking spot waiting for me. And it's really funny because sometimes, I will leave later than I expected to. So my timing was a little bit different than I had planned on it. But every single time it worked out perfectly. And it just never, it's just, I'm always in awe of all of this stuff that the angels do for us. And the parking space thing, that's just something fun to do. And it helps you practice tuning into the angels. But you can do lots of little things like that, as long as you can connect. Meditation works really, really well. There's a lot of beautiful guided meditations that you can go into where you can meet your guardian angels. And I've had some beautiful experiences with that. Absolutely magnificent. And meditating is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it's also really good for your health. It helps to de-stress you. It helps cut down on anxiety. So everything that we do, in that sense, it's all, good for us and part of our self-care. I was watching Melissa Park's show yesterday, Joyful Findings, and she said that she felt a lot of waves of emotions with me this week. And, I've had a lot, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just like, and after I sat with it for a while, I've been trying to figure out what it was, but I wasn't feeling not my own emotions. So once I, figured that, what I did was, I just transmuted those emotions into love and light and felt so much better afterwards. So you can really pick up on other people's emotions. They weren't bad emotions or anything, just kind of, some uneasiness. And it was a bit of a strange feeling, but I'm just glad that's gone now. And my energy feels really good today. I had a lot of great energy from that full moon last week and got a lot of stuff done. And something pretty cool, next Thursday, on the day of my show, will be the new moon. So I want you to start thinking about what seeds you want to start planting for the full moon. And, that should be pretty interesting and fun. Good morning, Melissa. How are you today? And, the new moon is a really good time to set your seeds of intention. And then as the moon, as the cycle goes on, then we nourish those seeds, we water those seeds, and then we watch them grow. So it's going to be a beautiful thing. And start thinking about what new things that you want to plant in your life and see come into fruition. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a card from my Archangel deck, the one that I usually use. And the one I got this morning was beautiful, the Gifts from God. And I really would like you guys to practice tapping into your intuition. I know a lot of people don't use their intuition or think it's silly. Oh, it's not. It's not silly at all. And the card that I just drew for everyone, breathe. And this is Archangel Raphael. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. If you're feeling a little bit stressed and you just stop for a few minutes and take a few deep breaths, it does completely change your energy and it makes you feel so, so much better. And with this thought process of intuition, how many of you, drop it in the comments for me, how many of you follow your intuition more than 50% of the time? I would love to know. Sometimes, you have to start out slow. And I know sometimes it's scary because we're not sure if it really is our intuition talking. But you can, figure that out in ways like I had told you earlier. A lot of times we know right away if it's a comforting feeling, we know it's coming from our intuition. Oh, and I just drew a card from Marie, and it's the comfort card. And this is a beautiful card here with Archangel Azrael. And she says, I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. So Marie, I feel like maybe you are going through a few emotional issues right now, and that your heart needs a bit of healing. So I'm going to send you some tons and tons of love to your heart chakra right now. And you can try some meditations to help open up your heart chakra and to help with the energy, help expand the energy in your heart chakra. And when you do, you are going to not only fill up that space of love inside of you, but it's going to help you to have a lot more kind and loving feelings towards others. Sarah says, I go by my intuition. Sometimes I doubt myself, but I'm getting better at listening. Sarah, that is so awesome. I'm the same way. I go by my intuition, I would say 99.9% of the time. Now, not always have I done that, but the hardest part is just learning to trust the information that you get. And because you don't want to, say, well, I made this decision based on what my intuition told me. And okay, now look at the situation that I'm in. This is crazy. And, sometimes people care what other people think, but try not to do that. You are the one that has to make you happy. You have to, be happy with your decisions. It's not up to anyone else. Don't let anyone take that power away from you. You have to empower yourself and stand in your power. Trust in the decisions that you make. Trust in the messages that you get. And you will see, the more that you use it, like I said, the more it expands. Just like a muscle, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And it can be a lot of fun too. But if you're not sure if it's a clear message, just ask for guidance, ask for confirmation that the information you got was correct and that you're headed in the right direction. And you will see that confirmation. It might show up in a number. It might show up in a song. It might show up, in something that someone indirectly says to you. But you will find their message. You will receive their message. And I know you're all getting tons of messages now, because most people don't realize it. Marie says, oh, thank you so much. Yes, you are right on. Awesome, Marie. It's really great. Devin says, intuition helps me in troubled times to choose the right path. And I would love a card. Thank you so very much. Well, Devin, that's awesome. Intuition is just such a wonderful tool we have to guide us. And I would be happy to pull a card for Devin. What do the angels want you to know today? Well, this one fell out. It says, you are safe. Archangel Michael, with beautiful wings and sword. And Archangel Michael says, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. Have you been feeling a little bit of heavy energy lately, Devin? That might be what he's referencing. Let's see. I would say to raise your vibration a bit above some of these lower energies that may be coming into your orbit, more than likely through someone else. But just try to transmute that energy and send it tons of love and light and see how it changes for you. And I know that you are always sending out love and light. So I know that you are definitely on the right track. Sarah says, I love when I hear something and then someone will validate it out of the blue. So that really helped me to trust my intuition even more. That's right. And that's validation. I know for us, because we're human, I mean, that we need that. It's so important for us. And it is just such a wonderful feeling when you get that validation and you know that you are on the right track. And then that helps you to trust even more. It's baby steps. Start out small and get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, starting next week with my show is going to be live streamed on a new Facebook page. And it is page just for my show. It's called the Transformational Soul. And Goldylocks Productions will be closing their page on Facebook. So it will not be streamed there anymore. Today will be my last show on the Goldylocks Productions page. And starting next week, it will be on my new page, the Transformational Soul. And you can also still watch it on YouTube. It'll be at both places. So, check that out. I just set the page up yesterday, and I'll add information and stuff to it today. And I'll send out some invites too, in case you can't find it. If you have a problem finding it, just let me know. You can just Google the Transformational Soul, and it should come right up for you. And the picture is the backdrop of my show, so or the logo for my show. So it would be pretty easy for you to find if you are a regular person here. And I have a card here that fell out as I was shuffling, and it's from Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel says to make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or pen an article or book. And creative writing and writing down our thoughts, it can be very therapeutic for us. And one thing that I have found for myself is, I would jot down stuff all the time, like maybe a dream I had, or, this thought came to me of something that wasn't my own thought, and I write it down. And I would go back and find it like years later and read it. And it was so crazy because a lot of times it would be something that pertained to what was going on in my life right then. So that was like the perfect divine time for me to read it. But a lot of times I would read it and not even remember writing it. When I do that, I really believe that that's the information coming through me from the angels or the divine. It's not from necessarily my own human thought processes. And the more I do it, I find the more that it happens. Devin says, thank you for your wisdom and guidance and insight. You're so welcome, Devin. And Goldylocks says, of course, all of our other shows will continue to be live streamed here on YouTube. Yes. And check out some of the other shows on Goldylocks Productions. We have an amazing team of shows and show hosts. And, you know, there's something for everyone. Absolutely something for everyone. And everyone, you know, we're all a big spiritual family. We're all in this together. And everyone just brings their own personal perspective to their show. And that's why, you know, they're all so interesting. They're all so different, but the messages are wonderful. So check out those other shows, you know, when you get a chance. And if you can't see them live, that's okay. We have replays. You can watch the replays. And also now on Facebook, we have the Venmo app, which allows you to leave a tip or donation for a show host or a specific show. And when you do that, when you send that donation or tip, make sure you specify, you know, what show or host it's for. And know that all of your generous donations and tips are appreciated, and they do help fund the show. And one feature on Facebook that's different from YouTube, the Super Chat, is that you can donate after the live. You can donate when you're watching the replay. So that's a different function than YouTube. Patience, something we all need. And I used to be a very impatient person when I was younger, but when I had kids, they taught me patience, definitely. And it's so funny now because, like, when I watch my grandkids, sometimes one of them will be doing something and they'll just keep on doing it, no matter how many times you tell them to stop. And I'll tell them, it's okay, I have patience, I'll outlast you. I had 4 kids. So they know. And I know kids are very impatient. It's hard for them to have patience because when they want something, they want it now. But it gets easier as you get older. But patience is something that we learn. And this is Archangel Jophiel. And she says, your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. You know, it's so easy for us to work on ourselves and work on projects, and we want to see results. Of course, we want to see results right away because we're human. But that's not always the case. Most of the time, we don't see results for a while. You know, it takes all these little baby steps, all these little things coming into play before you actually achieve your goal. And it will happen when it's supposed to happen. You're exactly where you need to be, or you wouldn't be there. And, you know, sometimes that might sound kind of silly because you could be somewhere else. And yes, if you went somewhere else, you would be exactly where you're supposed to be. And, you know, I know my kids think that's a little, doesn't really make that much sense to them, but it's really true. You would not be where you are right now if you weren't supposed to be. And being patient and waiting on divine timing is not an easy task because we have our human form of time and we can, you know, mark that out wherever we want to. And so in our spiritual self, in our spiritual life, there is no sense of time. Divine timing could mean a minute versus a year to us. We do not know what that means. But things will happen in divine timing. The only time we really have is now anyway. So what you are doing right now is important. Of course, we all like to make plans for the future. We like to make goals for ourselves, and that's fantastic. But you can't live there. You have to live in the now. Let's see. Sarah says, that's the message I got for myself for this month, patience. That's awesome. And I hope that it's going well for you and that you are learning to be patient. I know it can be very difficult, but once you learn that, it drops your anxiety levels a whole lot. Now, Archangel Raziel is talking to us about spiritual understanding. And he says, I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. Knowing something and understanding it are not quite the same thing. And sometimes understanding it can be, much more difficult for us. You might know this is how it is or believe this is how it is, but to actually understand it on a completely different level really helps it sink in and resonate more with you. And, that's really important. So, Sarah, did you set any full moon intentions last week? I'm curious if anyone has. And just a reminder that next week will be the new moon, so we will be doing some intentions for that as well. The moon phases are pretty awesome. My mom always told me that my great grandmother used to cut her hair by the moon phases, and I always thought that was pretty cool. That's something I've always done too. And they have really good charts you can find online of different things, that that energy of the moon will help your activity move further and deeper through their energy if you do it at certain times of the month. So that's just something pretty interesting. I don't know if anyone else out there follows, things like that, but it's kind of cool to check it out even if you don't, and just see how that might work out for you. Archangel Jeremiah says, all is well. He tells us that everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will soon understand. Well, I guess there's some validation for me then. Everything is working out like it's supposed to. And you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And a lot of times, the way things work out, we with our human eye cannot see why it would happen that way. Many times down the road, it could be a week, it could be a month, a year, and sometimes we never know. But a lot of the times, we'll see later on why it happened the way it did and how that was for our highest good. Because everything that happens in our life is for our highest good. But when things happen, that make us sad or unhappy or, downright miserable, it's so difficult to see that is something that's for our higher good. But as time goes on and we begin to heal and we see it from another perspective, we can see the beautiful lesson that was in that experience. Good morning, Joyce. Nice to see you here this morning. Thank you for being here. How are you today? Well, Joyce, I'm going to pull a card for you. And this card is about crystal clear intentions. And this is all about being clear about what you want and focus upon it with unwavering faith. Archangel Michael is guiding you. It's very important to be clear in our intentions. We might put that intention out there of, I want a new job. That's if you put out there into the universe, I want a new job, but tons of jobs are going to come at you, but they are probably not going to be the one that you want. If you put something very specific, I want a job where I can work daytime hours. I want to make this much money. I want to be this close to home. You put that intention out there, it's very specific. It's very clear. Because if you just say, oh, I want a new job, that's what the angels hear, and boom, 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 they're going to send you one, but it's going to be very general. You need to be very, very specific with your intentions. Joyce says, good morning, everybody. Joyce, doing well. I'm doing great today, Joyce. Thank you. Joyce says, thank you for the card. You are so welcome. So, I know during my spiritual journey, one thing I learned about setting intentions was the fact that you have to be very specific and very crystal clear. And if you're not crystal clear with yourself about what you want, you're not going to be able to put that intention out there. Because remember, when we put that energy out there and that intention out there, the universe is going to respond and it's going to send it back to us. That is why it has to be very, very clear. You don't want any, uneasy, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, anyways, some uneasy energy out there, indicating that you have no clue what you want. And when because what I used to do is I would say, well, I know I don't want this. Well, I know I don't want that. So anything but that would be great. Well, how clear was that? About clear as mud. That's what I used to do all the time, is I would always say to myself, I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't want this kind of person in my life. I don't want this kind of job. And that was not a very clear intention of what I wanted at all. It was no intention of what I wanted. It was just an intention of what I didn't want. And, after a long time on the road of my spiritual journey, I got to a point where I realized that was really holding me back and blocking me from what I wanted to come to me. So then I started doing, I am affirmations, and being extremely specific with that. I am love and light. I am kind. I am, whatever you put after those words creates the energy and, of who you are. And it's so important to be specific. And you don't want to say, I am going to anything, because that's not in the now. Your messages and your intentions need to be specific and in the now. Not, I am going to get a good job, or I am going to, do something nice for my neighbor. I am. And always stick with that I am presence, that I am affirmation. And, affirmations are so extremely powerful when you use them correctly. And, start doing them with yourself. What do you want your life to look like? Set your intentions. Write some affirmations for yourself and say them to yourself. You could say them in your mind. You could say them out loud. Sometimes hearing yourself say it, is a little more empowering for you. But you don't have to. You can just, say it in your mind to yourself. And you will see, after you repetitively do this, it will change how you feel about yourself. I am happy and healthy. I am ultimate health. But you can come up with your own. And, I do these like every day. And sometimes they differ. And I have found them to be so powerful in, clearing my energy, getting my head where it needs to be, in focusing on what I truly want in my life. And, a lot of people with their health, people will focus on losing weight. Why not focus on getting fit and healthy? That just sounds so much more positive. And I am fit and healthy. I am in a beautiful, loving relationship. Put it out there. You can manifest what you want in your life. You have the power to do that. You have to believe that. You have to trust that. Joyce says, thank you. Thinking about doing something different on target. Wow, that's awesome, Joyce. Lots of I am affirmations here. Yes. And those are so powerful. Affirmations are so powerful. They will change your life. There's so many things you can do that will change your life. And you have to take care of yourself. Self-care is crucial. And, I know I do the same thing because sometimes we all just get so busy. And, we forget to take care of ourselves. We don't forget to eat, but maybe we don't eat the healthiest things. We don't forget to sleep, but maybe we only sleep a couple of hours because we're too busy with other things. But taking care of yourself should be your number one priority. It really should. If you can't take care of yourself and fill your cup up, how are you going to share what you have with anyone else? You can't. You just can't do it. Laura says, Ruth, you are spot on about where the divine wants you and when. I went from a civilian doctor treating COVID patients to our Army unit on our way to Washington, D.C. after riots. All good. Oh, home now. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Lauren. Oh, Lauren, that's awesome. Wow. That is amazing. Oh, it gave me chills. Glad you're home, safe and sound. That is awesome. Well, thank you very much, Lauren, for all that you give and you do. That is so awesome. You are really shining your light out there. Thank you. Joyce says, nightly recording as I sleep too. Oh, that can help, yes. That can help a lot because even when you fall asleep, your subconscious still hears it. So that can be, a very powerful tool to use too. So that's really awesome. Now, how do we come up with new ideas? Do we go follow our intuition, just let those ideas pop into our head? But did you ever get like what you thought was a crazy idea just out of nowhere? And, you kind of followed it a little bit and then realized it was something very doable, very powerful, something that helped others. So if you would have just, ignored that little tiny idea that popped right into your head, it wouldn't have had such a profound effect on other people. So always follow those little, some people call them light bulb moments. You just get that idea out of nowhere. And they are very, very powerful. And it's really nice when you get them because all of a sudden you have this epiphany, this realization of something that you didn't know before. And how did you get that information? Of course, it just popped right in there. And right in there from the divine, from the angels. Your intuition is talking to you. We all need to listen. So I just wanted to let everyone know again, we have the super chat on if you're logged into YouTube. And we also have on Facebook now where you can make a donation or a tip via Venmo. So, we're all very grateful, if you do make a donation. And just know that that money is used to fund the show. So that's really awesome. We really appreciate that. And I also want to just remind you, because some people just tuned in, that next week, my show will be live on YouTube and on Facebook on a different page. It's the Transformational Soul. It will be live on that page. Goldylocks Productions is going to be closing down their Goldylocks Productions page on Facebook tomorrow. So you want to check out that page so you can make sure you catch the show live next week. Lauren, I would love to pull a card for you. And that card is sensitivity. And this is Archangel Haniel. She says, you are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor your feelings and yourself. Well, I can imagine with the work that you've been doing that you've been picking up a lot of emotions and energy from, some pretty maybe frightened people, fearful people. Um, so just be able to acknowledge that those feelings aren't necessarily yours, and um, be a little more attentive to yourself and to your needs, and practice some more self-care, whether it's, taking a long hot bath and just relaxing, or meditating, or going out, in nature for a walk. But make sure that you replenish all of your energy, because you need to be spot on there to be able to give of yourself like that to others. And something we all need to do is to take inventory of our life. Take a look at your life, see what you need, see what areas you need change, see what areas you need healing. Because none of us are perfect. We all have stuff going on. And it's just really important for you to be able to heal. Once you heal from whatever your issues are, whatever your traumas are, whatever your situation is, when you are in a place of healing and you're raising your vibration and you're living in that place of total gratitude for, for your healing, for the wonderful life that you do have, it will totally transform you, just like a caterpillar to a butterfly. Gratitude is an amazing state to live in. And when you're grateful for everything, what's the universe going to do? It's going to respond. It responds to that energy, and it brings you more things into your life to be grateful for. And, when you look at it that way and you see how it works, you see how much control we do have over our lives, how we really can make things happen. And we've been told for so many years, we've been programmed to believe that, we have no control over anything. We have no power. Oh, we do. We have tons of personal, spiritual power, and we need to step into that power, and we need to take control of that power, and we need to empower ourselves and change our lives. And in doing so, we're going to be changing other people's lives. When people see you step into that place and they see how comfortable you are at it, and with it, it makes them feel so much freer to be able to do the same thing. So just like when you take that rock and put it into the ocean and it ripples all over the place, you are a drop in the ocean of humanity. And what you do ripples out to other people. So when you're kind to someone, when you're, in that place of being grateful and you're expelling that kind of energy, and you're living in your light, you are, that ripple effect is going out to everyone eventually. Because as it ripples, it goes out a little bit, to the people around you, to the people in your orbit, to the people like in your state, to the people in your country. And eventually that energy ripples throughout the entire universe. So what you do does affect everyone else. So, make good choices, follow your intuition, and step out of your comfort zone. Do something that, you would never think of doing. When you step out of your comfort zone, it's a little scary. It could be, it doesn't have to be something monumental. Take baby steps, something small, something that you would not normally do, but you think would be good for you to do, or you've always wanted to do. Try it. Take that little step. And once you do, you will feel so confident, so empowered that you're going to want to do it again. You're going to want to do something else. You're going to want to keep stepping further and further outside of your comfort zone. And, they say That is where the rewards are. And I believe that because when you have the courage to step out of your comfort zone and do something like that, and you are stepping into that courage and the unknown, that's what can be scary about going out of your comfort zone. It's the unknown territory. And just like a child being afraid of the dark. Why are you afraid of the dark? Because it's dark. Why are you afraid of the unknown? Because you don't know what's there. And the only way you're going to know is when you step beyond that comfort zone. And when you do, and you see how beautiful it is over there, you're going to want to live there. You're going to want to stay there all the time. But we need to empower ourselves. We need to take back that power. And, you are just going to flourish and soar when you do. And the feeling of accomplishment when you do something that you were so scared or apprehensive about doing, I mean, you feel unstoppable. So why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want to feel that way? It's just a great, great experience to have and something that we can all do. So I'm challenging each one of you to do something in this next week. Take a little tiny baby step outside of your comfort zone and see what happens. And I really want you to do this, and I want to hear about it next week. I mean, it doesn't have to be something really big. What if it's just, cooking a meal that you would like, some kind of food you've never eaten before, and eating it. That would be outside of your comfort zone, right? Try that. It doesn't have to be anything special. Maybe you have a new neighbor and you just don't like going and talking to people and, stuff like that makes you uncomfortable. Go say hi, introduce yourself. That would be stepping outside of your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be, some earth-shattering event. We can do this on a daily basis, every single day. And every time we do, it just, empowers us more. It makes us feel more confident and more confident. So you can really build up the way you feel about yourself. Complete positivity. And there's no reason why we can't do that. It's very easy and very simple. Very small little things. But after a while, you start doing those small little things. After a while, you are going to be taking bigger steps, until finally you take giant leaps. And your life is just going to be, you're going to soar as high as you possibly can. And it's going to be a beautiful thing to see. So I'm challenging you all to step outside of your comfort zone this week. And I want to hear about it next week. So don't forget. Okay, Lauren says, thank you all so much. And I shared your videos with many of the soldiers to keep them calm and in a peaceful frame of mind. Us blessings, everyone. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. That is just beautiful. Linnell says, even if you have to say goodbye to some and hello to a whole new garden of people. That's very true. Very true. And as you grow on your spiritual path, that's going to happen. People are going to fall away. And that's natural. They're not going to be vibrating at the same energy as you anymore. And you're going to vibrate more towards people that have the same vibration as you. So as you raise your vibration, some people that have lower vibrations are going to kind of fall out of your life a little bit, and, there may be some grief involved. It could be someone who, was your best friend for 20 years or, some situation like that. And sometimes you just don't make sense anymore. And don't feel bad if that happens. It's part of the spiritual path that you're on. And don't feel guilty about it. You may feel grief, and that's fine. Just work through your grief. Because a lot of times when we lose people, even though, we don't lose them to the other side, there is a sense of loss. And sometimes it can be very devastating for us. So just, if that happens, just work through it. And you will find your vibe tribe. And that's where you'll stay. And look at all the beautiful people here today. You guys are so awesome. Sonia says, hey, Sonia, I'm going to pull a card for you. Spiritual understanding, again. This card came up twice. I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols, helping you understand spiritual truths. So Sonia, I feel like you're getting messages from the angels, and maybe you're not sure that that's what they are, but this is your confirmation that that's what they are. And Linnell, I'm going to pull a card for you as well. Linnell got the relationship harmony card. And this is Archangel Raguel. We angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. So Linnell, I feel like maybe there's some kind of conflict going on in your life or the people around you. Just know that the angels are there. They are sending love and light to everyone involved, and your situation will soon be resolved. And that's that. And Sarah says, I've had 2 friends fall away in the last 3 weeks. I actually feel lighter because of it. Well, yes, that's true, because their heavy energy was holding you down and holding you back. So you have to just go with it and flow with it. And when those people fall out of your life, it makes room for some new higher energies to enter your life. So while it may feel like, a sad thing, it's a very positive thing as well, because that's not energy that you needed to be around anymore, because you have moved yourself past that. So take back your power. That fell right into my lap. This is talking about using your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life, which is what we have been talking about. You have the ability. You have the power to do that. You can manifest anything and everything in your life. Now, people don't always believe that's true, but you have to trust it. Once you start doing that, you will see more and more things transpire following that effect. You will see more and more things that you desire manifesting, because you will be in that constant state of gratitude, of vibrational energy where you're attracting it. And the gratitude, is so, so important. And, don't be grateful just for the big things that happen in your life. Be very grateful for everything. Someone holds the door for you when you're walking into the grocery store. Say thank you. Feel it. Be grateful. Feel it like inside of you. Wow, that was a really nice thing they did. They didn't have to do that. And they didn't. They didn't have to. But they were kind and they held the door for you. Maybe someone helps you unload your groceries. They don't have to do that. They're going out of their way and doing you a kindness. Say thank you. Be grateful. Be very grateful all the time. And, if you don't always feel it, keep saying it until you are grateful, until you do feel it inside. Because there's a difference in, just, oh, thank you, that was great. But there's a difference when you really feel it and you really live it. Live in that place of gratitude. The universe will just keep sending you one thing after another for you to experience that same energy of gratitude. So it just builds upon itself. And it works the opposite way too, which we don't even want to talk about that. But you can do it. You can empower yourself. You can manifest what you want in your life. Work on your intuition. I want to thank you guys so, so, so much for being here. I really do appreciate and love every single one of you. And I am so grateful that I'm here with you. We have a beautiful spiritual family here. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much. Have a great week.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP patron.
Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldylocks Productions VIP community today.